Yeah, just I thought Connor pitched really well, and they got him with a couple outs. The top of their order is as good as any in the country with Morgan, Cruz, and Barry, and even their cleanup hitter, he's got big numbers as well. But Connor, it's almost that inning happened so quick. We really didn't have a chance to get anybody loose, and hindsight's 2020. Maybe we needed lefty hot there for a hitter, but good job by our guys fighting back and putting the bat on the ball with 2 strikes and making them field the ball. And it looked like early we had a chance to put him away, bases loaded, 2 outs, and Robert lines out to second. You're thinking at the time the way Connor's going, boy, if we get a hit right there and we double this lead to 4-0, we're in pretty good shape. And sure enough, you just kind of knew in our dugout that they were going to make a run, and that's exactly what they did. But it's a good win for our team, and a big-time effort by, I thought, Evan Taylor and Brady Tiger to come in and give us some quality innings there at the end.
Dave, what would you say first about Moore's? Well, I guess you guys had three runs there with 2 outs and 2 hits, but especially Moore's hit, and then the double play to get out of the bases loaded jam.
Yeah, Moore's balls hit so hard it hooked, and it kind of fooled the second baseman. Looked like here we go again. He's going to square one up, and it's going right at somebody, and it hit the ground and took off to the right, I say, and got by him. And that was a huge swing for us. The play before, I think Webb was behind the count 1-2, 2-2, and I don't know, he fouled a pitch off, and then he got a slider away, and he hit it past the pitcher, and it was definitely going to be an infield hit, and Wallace just kept running, and the outfield or the shortstop threw the ball obviously that was a little offline, and we tied it up. So those were big swings for us in a game that we felt like we were in control, and then we weren't. And then to get that double play ball, that was huge. It was a breaking ball that hit off the end of the bat, and we had Robert up the middle, and obviously he fielded it and knew exactly what to do, run to the bag, flip it to first, and we got into the bottom of the 8th with a 1-run lead.
You mentioned the Wallace scoring from second on the infield hit. Did you like him putting pressure on the defense there? Yeah,
I did. Just because hits were hard to come by, and their bullpen's been really good lately, and they kept bringing them in left and rights and velo guys, and sometimes you just have to take a chance, especially ground ball's probably a little wet by the time he gets it, and it worked out.
With Moore, he hit into the shift earlier in the game, had a good at bat there. Have you liked what you've seen from him lately? And you feel like maybe tonight was a good indication that he's coming out of it?
I think his confidence should have jumped up a little bit tonight. He's been fighting it a little bit, working extremely hard, coming in early, staying late, one-on-one with Coach Thompson a lot. He's fighting it. So for him to hit 2 balls on the nose his last 2 at bats is, we definitely need that. Obviously, we need our lineup to be deeper.
And then he made 2 really great defensive plays tonight. The one in right field early, and then the double play. I wonder if you could speak to how big those were.
Yeah, the first play was, at the time, I think it was their leadoff man, and it looked like they were going to have a runner on first and no outs. We were up 2-0 at the time, and he fielded and spun, made a perfect throw. It's outstanding play, killed a little bit of momentum there, and then we got him out and got in the dugout, and then the bases loaded. Excuse me, and they hit a couple bloopers. Cruz did a great job of staying through that ball and hit it over second baseman's head. Then we're ahead of Barry, a couple of strikes, and such a tough hitter. He fought one off, and he's got big power. We're playing really deep and right, and I don't know if the right fielder could get there. Robert's playing kind of double play depth, and it was just a really tough play, and it drops in. So for us to give up a run, they get within 1, bases loaded, 1 out. for us to turn a double play there, obviously it was exactly what we wanted. You know, we kind of pitched around the hitter before the double play ball, so it just worked out for us. You know, it was a very interesting baseball game, a little stressful, but like I said earlier, big win for our team.
Did Gregory do something to his ankle? Is that why he came out, or what happened?
No, because the pitcher that came in the game is a lefty specialist. That's why we had 2 back-to-back. I really didn't want to hit him back-to-back, but somewhere in the order I was going to have a couple lefties back-to-back, and that's where I put them. And they brought him in, and lefties aren't hitting very good against him, and those guys aren't hitting very good against lefties. And, you know, it's Vernato's been swinging the bat good, and he's actually hit lefties well, and just took a shot there.
What did you think of the way Tiger closed the game for you? I mean, that was a big spot for a freshman.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about it. Coach was there just a minute ago that he doesn't get rattled. You know, he wants the ball, and he doesn't want to come out of the game, and he doesn't care if bases are loaded, 2 out. That's just his makeup. And, you know, he was frustrated about what happened at Florida. I mean, he worked hard this week, and, you know, he was looking for a shot to close out a game like this, and just really proud of him.
On Moore, I think it was after one of the games against Kentucky, he had been struggling, and I asked him about you know, his play that night, and he said something along the lines of, you know, SEC comes, players come to play, and it seems like he's had a lot of those types of moments throughout his career. I just wonder what you think about the way that he seems to play well for you guys in big games.
Well, first off, he loves to play, and I think his whole makeup is he's just full of confidence. You know, he thinks he can play, and he wants that at bat when the game's on the line, or the ball hit to him when the game's on the line. It's just kind of his DNA, his makeup. You know, I mean, that's what he's all about. You know, he wants to be in the middle of the action, and you got to love that as a coach.
What's the confidence that you get from a game like this, where you both pitch your number one, you both go to your closers late in the game, you get the big hits to win the game, and they can't, you know, scratch out another run? And just kind of what confidence does it give you whenever they go to their guy and you still come out on top?
Well, man, you never know how it's going to go. It's like I told the team, you know, we haven't won this series yet. It's a great win. I know it's Thursday night, but I said that's what you get on Friday nights in the SEC. It's usually going to be tight, and, you know, somebody's going to get a big hit or somebody's going to make a mistake, and that's going to be the difference in the game. And, you know, I mean, winning a game like that when it's hard to lose a game like that if you use a lot of your guys, you know, your pitchers, your bullpen, and you worry about it a little bit. But, you know, I mean, we still got a lot of work to do, but it's definitely a confidence builder for our team.
Also, just what was the conversation like after the catcher's interference with the umpire? Kind of what was the
Yeah.
explanation you got, and just kind of what did you see on that play?
Well, I'm going to watch it again. We're going to figure out what we saw. And, I mean, Morgan's a tough hitter. He's a tough out. And I think his mindset was I'm not going down looking. And he wasn't going to swing, and all of a sudden he did. And I don't feel like the catcher reached out for the ball. I just think that Morgan swung late and let the ball get as deep as it can get, because it was probably just about in the catcher's glove when he hit it. So, because he made contact with the ball and the glove, it's kind of unusual. But if you see that, usually the ball maybe, in my opinion, ends up being fair. That was really an interesting play. But I asked the umpire what he saw, and I knew he wasn't going to change it, but I just said, that was interesting. I'm just going to leave it there.
That's not a reviewable play.
No.
All right, Coach.
Okay.
Just, how would you assess your outing? Kind of what you feel, what you have working for you, and just things like that.
Yeah, I had a lot of things working. Fastball on both sides of the plate, and then obviously the curveball was the main go-to. Felt good through the fifth, and then they started to put the ball in play, and they made an adjustment.
Obviously, you had a no-hitter going into the sixth inning, and then obviously it turned. And kind of what was going through your mind right there? Did you kind of just have to try to settle down for a moment and try to get that one big out, and just kind of what was going through your head there?
I was just trying to make pitches. I knew they were going to put the ball in play and start to try to press a little bit. So, still had the no-hitter at one point, and You try to be cute around the dish and not give up the hit. But once I did, I just filled up the zone and tried to get a ground ball double play.
So were you aware that you had a no-hitter going?
Yeah, I was very aware.
Robert came up big tonight with the hit in the seventh and the double play and even the play behind you there down the right field line. Just what can you say about the fact that he seems to do that quite a bit, or he has at least in his career?
He just shows up in the big moments. When you need him the most, he's the guy that's going to step up and really do it. So I think you saw that tonight. Every time we needed him in a big way, he seemed to show up.
What did you think of Evan Taylor's kind of brief appearance in relief, and what did you see out of him?
He was fantastic. He shut down the momentum. You know, they obviously had a big inning, 3 runs, and he came down, threw a couple zeros, or threw a zero, and then left us in a good spot to bring in Tiger.
And then what about Tiger and what you saw from him and kind of the closer role he's sort of worked into this season?
Yeah, it's unbelievable what he does. You know, I can't believe he's a freshman. You know, he's got a lot of courage to go out there, a lot of grit, and he's stuck through the hard part of that lineup and really grinded out the win.
LSU, I guess they got those 4 straight 2-out singles. I think that was your 3rd time through the lineup. Those guys are all hitting like 360 or whatever. Was that just maybe a case of them, you know, catching up to you, or what do you? Just good hitters, or what do you think happened there?
Yeah, they're good hitters. I mean, I think anytime you see somebody 3 times, it increases your odds to get a hit. But they put the ball in play, and some were hit hard, and some just were hitting the right spot. That's just baseball. I just got to execute better and be better the next time.
Connor, you haven't been necessarily a strikeout pitcher your career, but this year the strikeout numbers are up quite a bit. What do you think's been the key to that?
I just feel like I'm always ahead in the count, and that's the biggest thing, keeping guys off balance, throwing backwards, and then using my fastball as a setup pitch has been the biggest thing, and just having the curveball that I can put people away with. It's definitely different than years before, but I still get contact early and keep the pitch count down.
Coach Van Horn was in here earlier, and he's saying good win, but he told you guys, you know, the series not over. Similar situation where you guys were last week. Do you think you guys learned something last week in Gainesville that'll help you over the next couple of games?
I think we took something away from last weekend. That was a tough one. We took the game on Thursday, and, you know, it's baseball. It's hard to win, and especially in the SEC on the road. So I think you just have to bring the same tenacity that we had today and grind it out and win tomorrow.
Now, obviously, much different scenario, but I don't have to remind you what happened against LSU last year in Baton Rouge. Was there any part of you that was out to redeem yourself after, you know, the outing that you had against them last year?
I mean, everybody knew I threw bad last year. That was no surprise, but, you know, I just went out there and tried to do what I could to help the team win.
How big of a relief was it to see Robert turn the double play behind you in that inning and get you out of the double play or out of the bases loaded situation?
That was absolutely huge. That put absolutely all the momentum in our dugout, and that got our fans really, really into the game.
The 2 hits they got off you weren't exactly a well hit. I mean, what was kind of your mentality on the mound, you know, when they loaded the bases before getting that double play?
Nothing changed. Just go right after them. Still stay aggressive. So
What was the pitch on the double play ball?
curveball.
And then when Matt came out, did he say, okay, we'll do this, we'll get a double play grounder? What was that conversation like?
Just keep believing in yourself. Keep going right at them. Throw your best stuff right at them, and they can't hit you.
And then you got, I can't remember the guy that got the single in the 9th, Pierce, I think it was, you got him down 0-2. He had a nice at bat, got a hit. What was your feeling after that? And then you obviously got the game over with.
Next guy's unlucky because he's going to be the last out.